Well, we're so glad that all of you are here. You are the leading edge here in the United States today. The Tea Party is leading the way back to constitutional conservatism. Yay, Tea Parties! And that isn't just Michele Bachmann saying that. This is the latest poll about the new movement that is sweeping all across the country. 55% of people who are associated with Tea Parties today are ladies. It's the women. Isn't that great? Women are leading this effort. And why do you think that is? Anybody have a guess? They have children, that's right. What else? They get things done, that's true. So do men. What else? A lot smarter? Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, and working. I think a big part of it, too, is the fact that a lot of women balance the checkbook at home. And I know for me, my husband and I have been married 32 years. We have 5 biological kids. We've raised 23 foster kids. And I'll tell you what, I am the chief coupon clipper at our house. I clip the coupons. My husband and I, in 32 years, we've never bought a new car. We've always bought used cars, buy clothes at consignment stores. We live like all of you live because we balance the checkbook. And whoever balances the checkbook knows you've got to bring in at least a little bit more than what you put out. Either that or you end up in the pokey, right? That's usually how it works. There's a few people I can think of who should be going to the pokey. What do you think? Before I go any further, I want to say I agree with Ron Paul. Let's audit the Fed. And there is no reason why we shouldn't. We need transparency. Let me tell you this. 52% have a favorability rating for the Tea Party, and they believe that the Tea Party knows more than Congress. What do you think? I agree with that, too. I'm there in the front line. I see what they know. All of you figured it out a lot sooner than they did, that we cannot spend more than what we take in. You live within your means. I mean, if you missed that, I guess they must have slept in that day for Econ 101, but now they're finding out what the truth is. And also, 48% of people are affiliated with a Tea Party in the United States. Another poll was done earlier this week with the Rasmussen poll, and it said that more people in the United States identify with Tea Parties than they do with President Obama. Yeah. What does that tell you? It really is a remarkable time. We're standing in front of one of the most beautiful state capitol buildings in the United States, the Minnesota State Capitol. I worked here as a Minnesota State Senator representing my district just east of St. Paul. It was an honor to be a state senator. But you know the thing that absolutely floored me as a state senator, and I saw magnified by a geometric multiple when I went to Congress, is how easy it is for some of these people to spend other people's money. It is breathtaking. You've never seen anything like it. And that's one thing that we know. We have to return to constitutional conservatism in this country. And we have to return to our principles of limited government. Article 1, Section 8 tells the United States Congress, this is what you can do. These enumerated items, you can coin money. You can have post offices. There's a few things you're allowed to do. Beyond that, not so much. I read my Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. I looked. Where in the world do you have the right to compel any United States citizen to purchase a product or service against their will? Nowhere. President Obama just signed an unconstitutional bill, the government takeover of 18% of our economy in health care, and I firmly believe that bill will be overturned in a court of law. But we are not waiting on the courts on this one. When that bill passed on Sunday evening, I called my staff. It was about midnight, and I said, we're getting back to work right now. Here it is, midnight on a Sunday night. My staff was still at work, and I said, we are going to repeal this health care bill. So my staff set about, it's a 2,700-page bill, and we put together our bill, which is 40 words long, that repeals Obamacare. I was the first member of the House of Representatives to go down to the floor of the United States Congress, put my bill in the hopper, give a speech, and put our marker in the ground, and said, you may have passed your bill last night. You may have won that battle. But the American people are going to win the war on regaining our freedom on health care. And we're going to. That's why this fall, we have to be all about repealing Obamacare. And I encourage you, go to my website, michelebachmann.com. The bill is called 4903, House File 4903. Please sign the petition, forward it on your email list to everyone that you know. A number of members of Congress have signed on. We want to get more people signing on, because this fall we need to put a constitutional conservative majority in the House. And I believe, like Speaker Pelosi and President Obama have said, the new normal is high unemployment of the 10% level. That's their new normal. This is what our new normal is going to be. Speaker Pelosi losing her gavel. That's the new normal. And Harry Reid standing in the unemployment line. That's the other new normal. And 2 years from now, Barack Obama will be a one-term president. We will replace him with a rock-solid, bold, courageous, constitutional conservative. No substitutes for president this time. A rock-solid constitutional conservative. Then in February of 2013, the first item of business, we repeal Obamacare, and it's gone. And then we begin unwinding the unconstitutional federal government takeover of private industry. This is the story of the Obama administration, has been the government takeover of private industry. And unfortunately, it began under the Bush administration with the passage of the $700 billion TARP bailout, which I voted against, by the way, and the spending of the $1 trillion stimulus, which I voted against, by the way, and the health care overhaul, which I voted against, by the way. So I hope I can have your vote.
You want to live for president.
But you have to live in my district. No voter fraud. Unlike Acorn, we obey the law around here. So just to give you a little recap, since the federal government started this unconstitutional action, they have taken over some of the largest banks in the United States. Bank of America, Citibank. They took over the largest insurance company in the United States. When I mean they, I mean the federal government now owns the largest banks in the United States, the largest insurance company in the United States, AIG. We poured over $180 billion down that rat hole, and the federal government isn't done yet. Not only that, take a look at the secondary mortgage insurers, the mortgage market, Freddie and Fannie. Do you know that the federal government today owns over 50% of all private home mortgages in the United States? Did you ever think you'd live to see the day when the federal government is the holder of the mortgages in this country? Over 50%. So banks, insurance companies, our homes they own. Then take a look at what else they purchased. GM and Chrysler. How's that working for you? Two companies that filed bankruptcy after President Obama bought them. I don't think that an MBA award is where this guy is going to end up someday. I just kind of have a feeling about that. The other thing that has been taken over is the student loan industry and now health care. You add it all up, that is 51% of the private economy. And then consider that 18 months ago, 100% of the private economy was private. So this isn't just in our lifetime. This is in 18 months we have effectively witnessed an economic coup occur in our country. But we're still free. They haven't figured out that they work for us. We don't work for them. This is our country. We own it. And we're here today as Tea Party patriots to put our stake in the ground and say this is our country and you're not taking any more. As a fact, we are going to unwind you and we're going to have an exit strategy for the federal government to get out of the private sector. And by the way, their proposal to institute a value-added tax, a European-style value-added tax, you might as well stay at the starting gate, Mr. President, because that ain't going nowhere. I'm here to tell you we are going to fight that tooth and nail. And the President also plans to pass cap and trade, which I'm here to tell you is not about the environment. It's all about revenue. They want revenue and they want power. Why? They put all these new entitlements into place. Now they've got to pay for them. The Chinese aren't real interested in buying our debt anymore. Now that our new industry is supplying a welfare state, the Chinese aren't real interested in buying our debt. They just dumped $34 billion of our debt. So if you can't get foreign countries to buy your debt, you have to jack up taxes to pay for all your spending. Well, the people aren't going to stand for that anymore. What's your other alternative? You print worthless money. Well, that doesn't last very long because then you have hyperinflation. So after that, it's default. Consider that today, California is in a worse financial mess than Greece. Their bond rating is worse than Greece. I spoke a couple weeks ago with some of the leading economists in the United States who told me, Michelle, within 10 years, the United States will be Greece. The United States, the greatest nation, the economic powerhouse, being reduced to that level of insolvency. That's why everything is about November. It's about November. We turn these people out of office so fast and we retake our country. Even in Minnesota, we're going to do it here in Minnesota. So thank you for letting me come today. Thank you for being a part, true patriots on a very cold day. Thank you for coming out here. You have warmth in your hearts. Remember, there's a future, there's a hope. Let not your heart be troubled. We are going to prevail this coming November and take our country back. Thank you, everyone.
Before the Congresswoman leaves, we just want to say a couple words to her. As I said before, there are very few leaders across this country that stand firm and fight with us and for us. She is towing the line, and we are honored that she is standing here with us today. She's been